Prince William doubles down. According to multiple sources, it's now a matter of when, not if, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
March 3rd, 2026. London wakes up under that usual quiet mist. Then Buckingham Palace drops a statement so cold, it feels surgical. Not a rumor, not a leak. An official line from the Crown, delivered with zero warmth and maximum force. The message is simple. Prince William, backed by the authority of the Crown and the Privy Council, refuses to recognize a private DNA report Prince Harry submitted. That report was supposed to be the peace offering.
That they are at the moment facing a real crisis. Meghan and Harry's crisis, completely of their own making.
And the final proof that Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor is Harry's biological son and should be formally recorded in the Royal Household Registry. Instead of calming anything, it detonates the situation. Because the palace didn't just say no, it shut the entire process down and turned this into a public standoff that feels bigger than a family feud. This isn't tabloid noise anymore. This is monarchy protocol, bloodline legitimacy, institutional control. And the subtext hitting everyone across Britain is chilling. He's your son, Harry. But is he ours? Before we go further, like and subscribe, because this only gets uglier from here. This wasn't a paperwork dispute. It was a power move from the top. William's line is clear. No child gets added back into succession-related records based on any private lab result, especially not one done overseas. If this is going to be settled, it will be settled their way. An official DNA test under the Crown's authority, handled by Britain's own top experts.
I love to shit talk Meghan Markle. I got one from a welder the other day.
No way.
He was like, yeah, like I'm in the shop all the time. I used to catch a ton of shit for listening to your show. And then one day I was like, you got to come over here and hear what the Nerve is saying about Meghan Markle. And they were like, all into it.
Oh, don't mind if we do.
Don't mind if I do.
Under strict royal chain of custody. No California lab, no private paperwork, no shortcuts. With that, William takes something deeply personal and drags it into full royal procedure. Now, it's not about gossip, it's about whether two children are considered legitimate in the eyes of the institution. It's about trust between brothers that's already been burned down. And it's about how the monarchy survives another legitimacy crisis without cracking in public. To understand how it got this far, you have to rewind to the spark that set the whole thing off. Because what was meant to heal the wound ended up slicing it wider than ever. Harry's team didn't send a casual letter. They sent a dossier, a full stack designed to silence every critic, a DNA report from a California lab, Meghan's sworn pregnancy timeline, ultrasound scans, a notarized statement from a hospital staff member, page after page screaming legitimate. And Harry's goal was bold: restore Archie and Lilibet as officially recognized royal family members.
They're more desperate than ever. And I think that they don't know what to do other than to try and come back to Britain and rebuild themselves as some sort of members of the royal family.
Titles, privileges, and protection included. After years away, he was positioning for a return to the UK and a formal reinstatement of his children inside the system. But the moment that file hit William's desk, the temperature dropped to zero. Within hours, William reactivated what insiders are calling a succession security review. Legal minds, palace intelligence, royal protocol experts, tasked with examining the evidence and stress testing every claim. And then the palace issued what's now being described as a royal freeze. Archie's reinstatement halted immediately, citing major inconsistencies in the submitted materials. Yeah, and that's where the real fight begins, because once the institution calls your proof inconsistent, this stops being a family request. It becomes a legitimacy war. Palace whispers are now pointing to something insiders call the bloodline files. According to leaks, it's a confidential memo circulating inside royal circles, a document Prince William's team reportedly compiled after reviewing Harry's submission. And what it supposedly contains is raising serious questions behind palace doors. The first red flag mentioned in the memo involves a forensic review of Meghan's pregnancy photos from early 2019. Investigators reportedly examined images taken on March 5, 2019. In one set, Meghan appears at a morning event with a clearly visible baby bump. But photos from later that same day show a noticeably different silhouette. Analysts pointed out unusual creasing under her coat, something that sparked curiosity among palace staff. A confidential 3D image comparison was even conducted to study the change in shape. According to the leak, the shift didn't match what experts would expect from normal movement within a single day. That conclusion reportedly triggered speculation inside royal circles that something about the timeline didn't fully add up.
And it's all gone wrong for her. And Meghan doesn't like things going wrong for her. And Harry has very little to add to the party. But that isn't enough to satisfy him. So I think there's a huge crisis coming, which will redouble all the problems for King Charles and William.
But that's only the first issue raised. The second red flag involves medical verification. Unlike the births of Prince William and Princess Catherine's children, insiders claim there is no publicly confirmed documentation signed by the palace's senior physicians verifying Meghan's labor or delivery. Those same royal doctors who historically attended royal births were not officially recorded as present when Archie was born. Even more unusual, those sources claim there is no traditional hospital discharge record filed within the royal archives, something that historically accompanies royal births. For palace traditionalists, that absence alone raised eyebrows. Then there's the third issue, Archie's birth certificate. About a month after it was first issued, the document was quietly amended. Meghan's name was changed from Rachel Meghan Markle to Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. Meghan's team said the palace requested the update. But William's circle reportedly pushed back, noting that Princess Catherine's full name remained unchanged on the birth certificates of her children. On the surface, it might seem like a small administrative adjustment, but within palace investigations, any alteration to an official royal document is taken seriously. Now, every line of that paperwork, every signature, every record, is reportedly being examined, but according to insiders, that the most surprising detail inside the so-called bloodline files didn't come from doctors, photographers, or palace staff at all. Then came the twist no one expected. According to leaks, the most explosive clue in the so-called bloodline files didn't come from doctors or photographers. It came from a financial audit. An internal review reportedly uncovered a payment made just days before Archie's birth announcement. Nearly $500,000 sent to a private reproductive medical facility near Baja, California, a clinic known for working with extremely high-profile clients under strict confidentiality. That discovery didn't just raise eyebrows, it reportedly sent Buckingham Palace into chaos. And investigators noticed the transfer included encrypted notes referencing a confidential agreement between the clinic and a third party. Inside palace circles, that immediately triggered speculation about a possible private medical arrangement connected to the birth. If something like that were true, it could clash with long-standing royal succession traditions requiring the royal mother to personally give birth. But the mystery only deepened when the DNA test itself came under scrutiny. The report Harry's team submitted was allegedly processed by a small Santa Barbara lab called Horizon Gene Diagnostics. William's advisors quickly questioned its credibility. According to sources, the DNA samples were hand-delivered by Meghan's former chief of staff, rather than sent through an official forensic courier. Even more concerning for palace officials, the lab reportedly lacked certain international forensic accreditations. The submission itself was handled by Douglas Hall, an Oregon lawyer known for parental rights cases, not royal succession matters. That detail alone raised suspicions inside royal legal circles.
He is the heir to the throne, and I don't think that there are many companies that really want him to be absolutely disgusted by them. I don't think that's a good idea for anybody, and I would hope that if he couldn't do it via legal things, that actually to be very, very sure. You never know.
But Harry has no shame about this stuff.
Then the situation escalated further when a leaked email surfaced in the Times of London. The message, dated January 22nd, reportedly carried the subject line, "We need optics, not science." According to the leak, the email suggested that if the California lab couldn't produce results quickly, another lab should be found to generate documentation that looked convincing on paper. When questioned, Hall didn't deny the email existed. He simply claimed it had been taken out of context. But by then, the damage was done. And just when the situation seemed chaotic enough, Kensington Palace revealed a new timeline that complicated things even more. Shipping logs showed a DNA sample leaving LAX for London on January 24th. But records also suggested a second identical sample was quietly sent to a lab in Zurich. That Swiss lab reportedly never completed the test and never received payment. According to insiders, it may have been a backup plan in case the UK rejected the results. And leaked data from Zurich allegedly labeled the sample practice use, raising concerns that no official chain of custody had been established. One Home Office source reportedly summed it up bluntly. Right now, it looks like smoke and mirrors. With the controversy spiraling, Prince William made a move that stunned the country. He activated something called the Royal Commission for Lineal Ethics and Continuity, a little-known safeguard created quietly in 1975 to protect the monarchy if its lineage is ever questioned. It has never been publicly used before. Now, for the first time, the full 7-member panel has been summoned. According to palace sources, the commission includes senior lords, a retired Privy Council judge, the Royal Archivist General, an Oxford historian, or a legal representative of the Archbishop of Canterbury, and even a former intelligence officer whose identity remains classified. Their mission is to determine whether Archie and Lilibet meet the legal, ceremonial, and lineage standards required to remain part of the royal bloodline. And the investigation goes far beyond DNA. The commission has reportedly requested all versions of the children's birth certificates, along with travel logs, Frogmore Cottage security footage, and financial records connected to the mysterious payment. If the panel rules that the births don't align with royal succession rules, the consequences could be historic. The children could lose royal titles, lose eligibility for state events, and be removed from the monarchy's formal structure. The fallout could even affect Princess Diana's estate. Her will directed that her fortune be shared between her sons and eventually passed down to their legitimate heirs. But with Archie and Lilibet's status now under review, their potential claim to Diana's £22 million trust is reportedly in limbo. Sources say Prince William has already met privately with the trustees, recommending that the children's share be temporarily frozen until the commission reaches its decision. For Harry, that would be a major blow. Reports suggest Diana's trust has been a key financial support for his family after the collapse of several business ventures. According to one insider, Harry told a friend that Diana would never have allowed royal paranoia to outweigh her love for her grandchildren. But palace advisors insist the move isn't personal. They say the trustees are simply protecting Diana's estate until legitimacy questions are settled. And just when the tension reached its peak, another powerful figure stepped into the picture. At Prince William's request, a sealed memo written by King Charles III in late 2025 has now been opened. And the full contents remain secret, but palace insiders say the subject line alone was enough to send shockwaves through royal circles. Then another detail surfaced that shook royal circles even more. A sealed memo from King Charles III carried the subject line, Sussex, Children, and the Threshold of Trust. The document had been locked under high security at Marlborough House and was reportedly written after Princess Anne briefed Charles about inconsistencies in Archie's birth timeline.
Well, you're making me nervous. I want to tell you, in America, a lot of the tabloids are talking about how Harry and Meghan are experiencing difference in their interests and professional paths. Meghan focused on Hollywood, as you just mentioned.
According to insiders, the memo may show that Charles had already considered a policy. Any royal child not born under verified and properly witnessed conditions could have hereditary recognition withheld. If true, it would mark one of the strictest royal positions in decades. Sources say Charles struggled with the decision, torn between being a grandfather and a monarch. In the end, he reportedly deferred to Prince William's judgment, signaling a shift in royal authority toward the future king. And the situation escalated quickly. On February 12th at 8 a.m., Meghan's legal team filed a counter-motion in the High Court, accusing Prince William and the Privy Council of orchestrating what they called a custodial coup, disguised as a lineage investigation. Their argument is that Archie and Lilibet, as dual citizens, are protected under international family law. If their royal status were removed, Meghan's lawyers claim it would amount to institutional erasure of their rights as royal descendants. This legal challenge could push the dispute from palace walls into a global courtroom. Meghan's filing included family photos from Archie's birthday in Montecito and a sworn statement from Tyler Perry affirming that Meghan carried and raised both children herself. The submission was emotional and personal. The palace response, however, was silence. According to insiders, that silence is deliberate. Behind closed doors, royal advisors are carefully calculating every move. Princess Anne reportedly supports William's firm stance and has pushed for a formal royal medical tribunal to review the evidence. Prince Edward is said to feel uneasy, but agrees the monarchy cannot appear weak again. Queen Camilla has remained publicly quiet, though one insider claims she was overheard saying, "The crown must stand taller than its scandal." Inside the palace, emotions are reportedly running high. Prince Harry is said to feel furious and deeply betrayed, not just by his brother, but by the institution he once defended. One source described a recent phone call between Harry and William as brief, tense, and icy. What began as a dispute over documentation has turned into a full-scale royal crisis. Now the monarchy finds itself balancing bloodline and brotherhood, law and loyalty. This is no longer just a family disagreement, it's a test of the monarchy's credibility. Deep inside Buckingham Palace, the final report from the Royal Commission is now under review. 6 intense days of examining birth records, financial trails, and private testimony have narrowed the decision to 3 key figures: Prince William, Princess Anne, and the Lord High Chancellor. The question hanging over the palace is simple but profound. Can the House of Windsor survive whatever truth emerges? The verdict won't only affect 2 children. It could reshape public trust in the crown itself. And just as the tension reaches its peak, another development is reportedly coming. Meghan Markle, who has remained largely silent through the controversy, is preparing to speak publicly. Sources say she recorded an emotional interview 2 nights ago at her Montecito home, addressing the rumors, the investigation, and her pregnancies directly. And her statement reportedly focuses on the emotional toll of the controversy, the pressure she faced inside the royal system, and the pain of being questioned as both a woman and a mother. In one intense moment, Meghan is said to declare, "I carried my children, I gave birth to them, and now they're being erased. This isn't about lineage, it's about power, fear, and control." Those words are expected to send shockwaves through headlines worldwide. The interview will be distributed through an independent U.S. outlet, deliberately bypassing major networks. While Meghan prepares to make her side public, Prince William is reportedly preparing a response of his own, quieter in tone, but potentially just as historic. Behind palace doors, William's team has finalized a speech titled, "On the Matter of Lineage and Constitutional Continuity." According to insiders, the address could redefine how the monarchy handles questions of royal succession in the modern era.
From exploiting Princess Diana for money and allowing Meghan Markle to exploit Princess Diana for money so she is in some way connected by the public with that amazing woman.
Approved by King Charles and scheduled to follow the commission's verdict, yet the speech will reportedly outline 3 key points: the findings of the Royal Commission, Archie and Lilibet's official status in the Royal Registry, new standards for any future claims to royal titles. Sources describe William's tone as calm but unyielding. One line from the speech reportedly left even close advisors stunned. "This decision was not made with malice. It was made with duty. I would rather bear backlash than risk the erosion of royal truth." If delivered as written, the statement would signal William's willingness to endure public criticism to protect what he believes is the integrity of the crown, even if it deepens the divide with his brother. But just as the palace prepares for the announcement, a new twist has emerged. A leaked Heathrow flight manifest shows a private jet scheduled to land in London on March 14, 2026. On the passenger list reportedly includes 1 adult male, Henry Mountbatten Windsor, 2 minor dependents. The flight originates from Van Nuys Airport in California, a location frequently used for private travel by high-profile figures. What immediately caught attention is what's missing. Meghan Markle's name is not listed. There is no public media coordination, and there appears to be no official security notice. Palace officials have refused to confirm or deny the document's authenticity. Still, and speculation is spreading rapidly that Prince Harry may be returning to the UK with Archie and Lilibet, alone. If true, the move would be deeply symbolic. Some insiders believe Harry may be planning to present his children directly to King Charles, hoping their presence will resolve questions that paperwork has only complicated.
Prince William is said to be prepared to take legal advice over plans by his brother Prince Harry.
Others remain skeptical. Some palace watchers suggest the flight could be a strategic distraction, while legal maneuvers unfold behind the scenes. As one anonymous source reportedly put it, "This family plays chess, not checkers. Nothing is real until the jet touches the runway." Also outside Buckingham Palace, tension is building. Reporters line the gates, cameras fixed on the palace entrance, waiting for a statement that could either stabilize the monarchy or fracture it further. Public opinion remains sharply divided. To some observers, Meghan is a modern mother facing outdated traditions, a woman caught in an institution resistant to change. To others, William represents the duty-bound guardian of royal legitimacy, forced to make difficult decisions to protect the monarchy's credibility. And at the center of it all stands Prince Harry, balancing loyalty to his family with the legacy of the institution he once served. The Commission's ruling could change everything. If Archie and Lilibet are recognized, they would regain their places in the royal registry, reclaim titles, and maintain their inheritance rights. And if the ruling goes the other way, the consequences could be historic. The children could lose royal recognition entirely. No titles, no ceremonial status, and potentially no future claims tied to the monarchy. For Harry, the stakes are just as high. Some insiders claim disciplinary action could follow if the palace believes misrepresentation occurred, a move that would deepen the rift within the royal family. A little-known clause within the Commission's charter also adds another layer. The monarch, or the Prince of Wales acting in his place, has the authority to override the ruling. But according to reports, William has refused to exercise that power, insisting the Commission's decision must stand on its own. As dawn rises over London, the atmosphere around Buckingham Palace is tense. A sealed press statement is reportedly ready, written, timed, and waiting for the royal seal. Outside, crowds gather. Cameras broadcast live across the world. The future of Archie and Lilibet, the legacy of Prince Harry, and the credibility of the House of Windsor now hang on a single decision. Whatever the outcome, one thing seems certain. The story of this royal family and the institution it represents will not look the same afterward.